Everyone, welcome back to the Business Based Podcast. Haven't said that in a long time, but I'm your host, Jace. This is Madison. And yeah, like I said, it's been a while.
It's been too long.
Too long. And of course, our first episode back is we're both sick. So
it's going to be a great episode back. Everybody take your vitamins.
Yeah.
Have your vitamin C ready.
Oh, man. So we sound a little bit different, or we sound kind of funky. Don't mind it. This shouldn't be like it for the next episode. Whenever that may be, I can't make any promises.
But we're hoping we're going to be more consistent than our 8-month hiatus.
Yeah.
We both just had, life. But we're back. We are back. We are better than ever. We are prioritizing.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
We're
I like
back with our booze and our bays.
Hell yeah. Okay.
We are hopefully going, once we figure out some things, we're hopefully going to be doing some ghost hunting this stretch of, I guess, season.
Yeah, we can make this whole. Yeah,
we can make this
season 2, season 3, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll do season 2.
That's gonna be super interesting if we go ghost hunting.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because we found out there are actually a lot of haunted places in Florida that apparently really want some investigators.
Yeah. We'll see about that. Well, we got on the docket today, Madison.
I was going to say, speaking of hauntings, today, for our first episode back, we're going to be talking about the Enfield Poltergeist.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of this one. Or maybe...
If you probably haven't heard of the story, but you have heard probably of everything that's been based off of it. So, The Conjuring was based off of it.
Definitely heard of The Conjuring.
Specifically, The Conjuring 2.
Oh, that's the one with the nun in it. Yeah. I've heard of that.
So, the original Poltergeist also took place for a small family in England.
Okay.
So the original Poltergeist, and also I don't know if you've seen the movie, but
I've not seen the Poltergeist movie actually. I've heard it's pretty good.
It's good for it being old.
Okay. Like The Exorcist kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think watching it now, you're probably gonna be like, oh, no, lack of CGI is crazy. But I think you'll like it. But all of this to say, based off of the real story of a family in a small town in England in 1997, they began to experience a bunch of strange occurrences at their houses. First, it started off smaller. It's a family of a single mother and then her 2 daughters. Okay. And then she has 2 boys, so her and her 4 kids. So she had her hands full, needless to say. So first, there was furniture being knocked over. There were knocking sounds coming from the walls. At first, she thought it was the kids. She thought that they were just,
being bad
little kids. But then it got a little more intense that she was like, okay, all my kids are accounted for. They're still knocking at my door. So she, and then the children also were like, hey, the furniture's moving by itself. That shouldn't happen.
Okay.
So they tried, calling the police to see if it was, somebody, if it was, somebody breaking in, and, which I don't know how many people were just breaking in and moving shit around, but whatever, I digress. Had the police come over, and the police did actually see one of the chairs, push itself across the room.
Fuck, I'm out of here.
No, right, but he was just like, oh, we can't prove that it was, pushed, but y'all stay blessed now. Yeah. So a couple members of the Society of Psychical, a writer, Guy Lyon Playfair, and both men basically agreed that they think it's an actual poltergeist, which I think a poltergeist, fact check this, but I'm pretty sure it's just a of some sort that's inhabiting a house. That's the only context I've seen it in.
Well, the poltergeist can move stuff though, and a regular ghost can't. Is that what it's?
I think so, because I don't know. When I think of a ghost, I don't think of I can think of things flinging off the walls.
Okay.
But they were at one point, I know they do this in The Conjuring 2. Alert if you haven't seen it in the past 15 years. But,
where have you been if you haven't seen this movie?
She's levitating in the bed. And there's an old picture that I think they play at the end of that movie that shows the original little girl that, again, this is all alleged, levitating in her bed that they could not explain.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
These guys came over and they basically, they said that there was a poltergeist, but then other members of like professors of psychology and like doctors were saying that like the little girls like are making it up and that it was just like a hoax basically. So all of this attention to this family like was in all publications. There were like the books about it. But the activity, I say demonic activity, definitely ramped up a lot after that, just because they've had so many people going to their house being like, hey, this shit could be haunted, not too sure. But there were claims of like demonic voices. There were rocks and toys being thrown. This is also when there were some. And then Maurice Grosse and the guy Lion Playfair reported whistling and barking noises coming from one of the kids. Janet.
Oh, the kids were just playing.
Yeah, no, so they were just joshing around.
Yeah. If they're barking like that, you know, I do that.
What would you do? Because I always joke and say, like, we had a thing for a while that, like, my niece could see ghosts. I still believe it because I think little kids are connected to the outside.
Okay, yeah.
Like, whatever. What would you genuinely do? Because my joke is like, haha, I'd throw the kid away. But quite honestly, if your kid, like, if you walk into your kid's room to like get them out of the crib, full levitating, barking.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like, see, that's tough. Not really, actually. But you know, I think you don't have any other option. This can probably get me canceled. But like, you probably don't have any other option but just burn the house down with the kid. Like,
no, for sure.
It's like if you see a spider in your room, like you just burn the house down.
And if the kid's demonic, they'll live.
Yeah, they'll live. Yeah.
So I don't really see.
That's true.
Honestly, I think that would probably be my response because I don't know. Do you exorcise? I've never seen an exorcist performed on a kid.
You know what you could do? You could put the kid in like a FedEx package and then ship them to the Vatican, so they can like.
They deal with it.
Yeah, and then have them ship the kid back, return label, everything.
I'm gonna be honest. Every movie that I've seen with some small town podunk priest, he never can do it. He's always
you know what? You're right.
In his boots every time.
You're right. Like no one can.
Oh, sorry. And it always ends up being like the main character who read a book.
You're right. Like I didn't realize it until now, but like none of the exorcists that come in can do shit.
No, they don't. Actually, I recently watched Annabelle with Tanner because he just realized he'd like never seen it. He's like, "Or if I have, it was a very long time ago." And literally, the guy gets like possessed. Like the guy that was supposed to help or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He gets his ass kicked, and then he's laid up in the hospital, and they like possess like a body double of him to like go back and like basically show that bitch who's boss. But all of this to say, like, he didn't do much. He said that he was like, "Oh, I got rid of the spirit." No, you got your ass kicked by the spirit is what you got. You are now laid up at basically Tampa General because you got your ass kicked by a spirit. So all of this to say, get rid of the kid, get a better priest,
burn the house.
Burn the house. I don't know if there's salt involved in an exorcist.
I've seen it where like they put the salt in like the doorway, and then if it like gets kicked around, then obviously somebody like kind of entered the.
Me saying I've seen that it's on Supernatural.
So, I have seen it.
I'm like, I'm kind of an expert on the matter, because it does work in Supernatural. That's based on real events I've heard.
Hey, don't quote me, but I'm just
saying.
I think I've seen Dean Winchester run around here somewhere.
I love Dean Winchester, Jensen Ackles, doesn't matter, whichever one.
Soldier Boy. I
love Jensen Ackles. But anyway, he would definitely get this bitch. But there was actually a book written about it called "This House is Haunted: The True Story of a Poltergeist."
What a creative title!
I know. And funnily enough, this is the writer that's been praising everybody, saying like, "Oh my god, this is for real." In his book, he said that he doubted some events, and he says that the children might have been next. But part of this was proven when Janet was caught on tape. Like, there was a video camera set up in the house because they obviously were like, okay, clearly, like, some of these events we do see happening, but the other events we do not have any proof of. But it showed her bending spoons and banging a broom handle against the ceiling and kind of like amping it up. But they said that, like, in the book, he said, even though he does believe that in some instances, really playing up the ante of like there's somebody in the house trying to kill us. They think that ultimately the hauntings were genuine.
Okay.
But there have been like little series and stuff that has talked about like they've had like Janet, the little girl, as a lead in the story, and like kind of talk about her experiences as a little kid. But I do think that overall, because I think it took over the span of the hauntings.
I mean, at that point, like Ghost is just family. At that point, like you know what I'm saying.
In the club, we all fam.
Yeah, like if you can't deal with the ghost within 5 years, like you either move or just like make amends with it. Like how do you let it bully you for 5 years? That's what I don't understand.
I agree, because I feel like at some point I would be like, listen, what do you want? Like, do you want the house? Am I in that? Because also, I don't know, like, they go into, like, I guess they had, like, a show series, like,
okay.
But they go through, like, I think they have the house, I don't think it's, like, I think...
Is it just, like, a tourist attraction or something?
It might just be a tourist attraction.
I can see it like that, yeah. Like, the Conjuring house is kind of like a... They do,
like the Amityville Horror House. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to say, like, a spectacle, but...
or please believe it or not, just...
No, honestly, though. But they talk a little bit more about, like what, like, the origin story is. They did say that a couple family members at the house previously died. So they think it was more of, like, them trying to just, like...
Okay.
And they said that the house itself is just possessed. And, like, one of the women that was a part of, like, their... she said that, like, don't contact the spirit, basically. Like, don't look for her. She's just fucked, basically.
Don't even try.
Yeah, so, honestly, they don't have, like, a ton of, like... I don't know. I feel like it's definitely very similar to the Amityville Horror, just stuff like that it's just... I think the house is just haunted a bit, but...
Well, you know what's funny? Like, going back to, like, the videotaping, like, getting proof or whatever, I was watching this one thing on YouTube, and it was, like, this one guy, I can't tell you his name for the life of me, but he did a podcast with an exorcist, I think, and he was basically just, like, explaining, like, different things that he's, like, seen or, like, exorcised, I guess, and he was talking about, like, these girls or, like, this woman that, you know, would speak just a foreign language. Like, they didn't even know that language. They had, like, superhuman strength. Like, this lady took, like, 6 big-ass dudes to, like, hold down. Whatever. And, like, even his, like, he brings himself to exorcise the person and then, like, another person. And I'm like, where's the camera, though? You know? Like, where's the camera? Like, we need this. Yeah. Like, I want to see this girl with a deep voice just start speaking some ancient language. Or start levitating.
Which, this might be completely out of the whatever, but I do see that does happen when people, like, go into comas.
Okay.
Or sometimes...
they wake up speaking, like, German.
Speaking, like, a language that they've never heard, whatever.
Yeah.
And I almost wonder if that, like, part of your brain is, like, more susceptible to, like, spirits, or if, like, whatever...
I can see that,
like, if science meets spirit... the science meets the spirits, because, like, the human brain is so fascinating that, and, you know, I know nothing about anything for sure.
Yeah, you're sounding like a true neuroscientist.
I said, I don't really. I said, I've got, I know if my sister listens to this episode, she's like, this bitch knows nothing and dumb as a bag of fucking rocks. I just wonder if, like, that connects at all, or, like, because also, I do think, I am a firm believer in hauntings and spirits. But some people, I almost wonder if they're just, like, hallucinating that, and they have just believed it, that is a spirit, that that other occurrences, that they've just, like, whatever, that they've manifested that in their head.
Well, listen, okay, so my parents just went out of town. They went to the beach a couple weeks ago, and they left me because I had to work. And let me tell you, I think my
It's not
house.
like they abandoned you, and they just left me.
My house is haunted.
Yeah.
100. Like
I will co-sign on that.
the stuff I heard, like even my girlfriend, like she came over one night and she like got up out of bed and she was like, "Is Kaya here?" My dog, and she was like, "I could have sworn I just heard Kaya by the front door, like clicking, clacking, whatever." I was like, "Oh, I didn't hear anything." But for me, my like ground-defining moment where I'm like, "Yeah, this thing is haunted. I better make friends with this ghost right now," is like I remember I was butt booty naked. Actually, no, I had my underwear on, making a smoothie in my kitchen, and I'm just like mixing all the stuff together, trying to make like a little protein smoothie, whatever. And I thought I heard someone like shuffle their feet behind me, like in the hallway, and I was like,
at your most vulnerable.
Yeah, no, I'm like, okay, someone just broke in, or there's a ghost like right behind me, and I jump up, like just jump up, hair on the back of my neck raises, and I look behind me, like nothing's there, obviously, but it sounded just like someone had like socks on, and they were like shuffling, like,
Yeah.
and it was like that frightened me the most. I think that was like the most like scared I've ever been. And then I remember later that night, I was watching my movie. It was a nice little like wholesome family movie. I think it was Super Mario Bros. Actually, so nothing too scary. And then the panel to my air conditioning just falls off in the laundry room. So it's like a loud metal clank. I'm terrified. It's 2:00 in the morning. I have work the next day. Safe to say, I almost fell asleep at work because of the lack of sleep.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
trauma will do that to you.
Yeah, I haven't woken up with any scratches like I used to in the past. I haven't been attacked recently. Shout out to our Jace Got Attacked episode a long time ago.
Because that was still unexplained.
Exactly. And so now I'm kind of concerned. My parents don't think that the house is haunted, but they haven't been in my shoes.
I think you have a case for it, and I think because also your house, I wouldn't say is like old.
No, I think it was like built in the 80s.
Yeah, that should be making like old house noises.
Exactly.
So I feel like it could be a ghost. And have you asked?
No, because I'm scared if I wait, ask the ghost.
I feel like you should just like what I've been told is if you want the ghost to go away, maybe you have to tell them, "Hey, like you're not supposed to be here."
No, but like I don't want to contact anything because then isn't that like inviting them?
I feel like, but what if they're here and they don't know they can leave? That's like you need to tell them that they're able.
Well, if they don't want to leave, that's the thing.
Well, if they don't want to leave, then that's also very possible. And if that's the case, then you need to call Ghostbusters or something because
You know what? Actually, I am Ghostbusters though because a couple of years ago, I think a year or two ago, you got me a EMF reader.
Yes.
And I'll go around my house and I'll use it sometimes. Doesn't really do any pick up anything.
Honestly, okay, I'm gonna set a scene for you.
Okay, all right.
You are sleeping in bed. You put a camera up overnight or whatever. What would you do? The problem with your house, there's a lot of hallways.
Yeah.
That's the thing that would trip me out, is that someone is always lurking in a hallway somewhere. But what would you do if you like while you were snoozing, you saw on camera like a woman in black just coming up to your head and being just like staring at you? And then, like would you be fine with it if she just did like
fine with it? What?
Like would you be fine with it if she like just kind of like
maybe
on the head and then just kind of like knocked your shit down? Or would you still be like, listen, bitch, you gotta go. Like you gotta scoot.
Yeah, I think if she just gave me like a little kiss on the cheek and like kind of like went
up and left.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been as bad. I think I would have definitely, give her like set out like a nice like, what do you do for Santa? Milk and cookies, I think I would have done something like that. But if she's like, I don't know, like shadow boxing me or something like that.
For La Llorona.
Yeah, if she's like punching me in my sleep, if that's why I'm waking up with like some bubble gut or some shit, then like we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some problems at that point. But like, I don't know. That'd be very interesting. I don't think I'll get the results that I want, nor do I want to see myself sleep because I'm afraid of what I might do in my sleep.
Yeah, no, I get that. I also feel like because like, I feel like if I like physically like saw a ghost, I feel like I would be like, like, thinking of it now, I'm like, maybe I would be fine.
Okay.
But I feel like in the moment, if I, like, saw video footage of, like, a ghost standing over me, I'm moving.
Well, because you always see those, like, videos. I don't know if you've seen those photos, but there's, like, photos of, like, demons that will sit on people's chests in the hospital, like, on their final moments.
Yeah.
And kind of, like, kill them because they won't be able to breathe because they're sitting on them. It's kind of creepy. If you haven't seen those, look up the photos. You might not want to because it is kind of scary. But I would, if you're interested, I would look it up because it's very, like, eerie, and, like, you always kind of think, like, what if that happened to me at my house?
It could.
Yeah.
I don't think we're scared enough of ghosts. But, like, okay, also, what do you think, out of all the ghost movies you've seen,
Okay.
what movie do you think, or, like...
Oh, Casper.
I was going to say, Casper doesn't count.
That's a great question. I have no idea. I don't think I've seen that many, like, good ghost movies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I consider Annabelle a ghost.
yeah, but I'm not surviving Annabelle. That's
okay.
the thing. I'm not.
I consider, like, Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
The Conjuring. Poltergeist. I don't know if I would consider... Like, there's some things that I feel like could be considered ghosts. But they're, like, the Amityville Horror House and stuff like that. They're, like... It's in something, but I feel like it's still a spirit.
Okay. Well, there's one movie that just came out, I think, like, maybe a year ago. And it was basically about this mom and this mom and her mom and then, like, her kid. And they just moved into the house. They're not, like, financially well off. Like, they're struggling to make ends meet, you know? And there's, like, this ghost that comes in and absolutely just wrecks their shit. And it's apparently based on a true story. And that's what makes it even freakier, because this movie is the only horror movie, ghost movie, that made me want to go to church the next morning. Because, like, you see some crazy shit in there, and it's very spooky, very scary. And I forgot what the name of it's called. If I can remember it, I'll put it in the description of this podcast. But I would highly recommend that you watch that. But it also might freak you out. It's very scary. Eerie. I wouldn't say, like, jump scary, but, like, very, like, I did not like that. I think I need to go, like, see Jesus.
I need
Like,
to repent.
yes, it's very scary, like, very creepy.
I can handle... I don't know if I can handle that. I'm better with gore
Same here,
than I am with, like, that stuff. Yep. Because I'm like, that stuff, like the movie, and I still remember it. It was me, Kenzie, our friend at the time. We came home from our other friend's bar mitzvah, and it just came out on, like, whatever, Mirrors.
What?
I think it's called Mirrors. And it was one of the... I had, like, at Kenzie's, same thing. Scariest, because it was basically, I think, about an evil spirit trapped in a mirror. But, like, it would, like, make you, like, want to kill yourself and stuff like that. But, like,
it's kind of like Smile? Have you ever seen that?
No, because I was told I shouldn't watch it, because apparently if you have mental health issues, I don't know if they're giving tips, I'm not really sure, but I was told, no. But Tanner watched it, and he said that I think that he also thought it was a little, like, yeepy.
I think that's the exact noise I would use to describe that.
Yeah, it's like, so I guess, yeah, same concept, but, like, those types of things freak me out, because,
and
like,
plus mirrors are portals.
Right.
So, like,
that is another thing, though. Do you think are portals?
I think so. I think it depends on the place and everything, but I believe that, like, if you're in a haunted place and there's mirrors galore, yeah, you're definitely about to see something that you probably shouldn't. And I know there's, like, some places that are kind of like, oh, if you look in this mirror for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you'll start to notice different things about yourself. Like, you'll start to see, like, one eye start to close, or, like, one eye, like, start to, like, lean, or, like, your mouth start to frown when you're not frowning. And it was like I don't want to try that, but
maybe
it's like a little clown house or something.
Yeah, no, I'm susceptible, so I won't be doing that. But I do think And I think that's why the movie scared me, because I'm like, that is something that's around. You know, it's
That's
not
true.
like even like that Amityville horror house and stuff. It's like, okay, well, I know where that is. She's still there. Like, she is not coming for me in Tampa. But like, that entity could inhabit it in any house you pick.
That's true. Oh, also, I wanted to talk about this. Might be the last thing we talk about, but I wanted to bring this up. Did you see a couple weeks ago the plantations caught on fire?
Yeah,
and then you could see
everyone said it was just because they just
yeah,
Annabelle got him right.
And then like in the fire, like some people were like, "Oh my gosh, you could see like the people in the house." Like the smoke was like going around. Like yeah, you could,
that's crazy.
If you look at the pictures like on the balcony, you could like see people, like like little entities like inside the house.
Yeah, that creeps me out.
But they're saying it's like the slaves or like the spirits kind of getting their like lick back. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I was like, let's go.
That's what I'm saying. Go. Like some spirits, I'm like, I'm on your side.
Yeah, you know.
Like Annabelle, they said that it was what I think happened, because they.
And then Annabelle went missing too while our hiatus. Like
everyone said that like Annabelle didn't actually go missing and that it was a hoax, but I personally think that means that she's been fucking shit up and they're trying to hide it.
Well, because the fires happened right when she went to Louisiana, I think.
Yeah.
Like she goes to Louisiana, takes a visit. Somehow these plantations just
all catch on fire.
Like,
and they're like, I'm pretty sure the plantations were like, they're like not in, obviously they're like not in use anymore. Like and they're not like. I
think they're just like historical, maybe like historical,
or like wedding venues. Yeah, like they're like not actively used. Like people aren't living there. So I definitely think it was Annabelle, and I don't think we should move any more things if that's the case, because like that is you start moving shit around and then people die.
I mean, the Robert the Doll is different because he can come see me in Tampa, but like what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he is not breaking out of the box for you specifically.
That's true. I have to go see him.
I'm gonna say if you talk shit loud enough, maybe. But
I'll text you when I get home today.
I would love to see him in person.
That's what I want to see.
I still would love to see him.
I want to go. Let's take a trip to Miami.
And then actually, guys, scratch it. We're not staying in the Tampa area. Our next ghost haunt is going to be the most haunted doll in America.
Could you imagine we pull up to Robert the Doll and like Annabelle's like right next to him, just be like playing like fucking bingo or something?
Listen, I'm not gonna break up the gang. I feel like if they want to bull and hang around, then they should.
Maybe they haven't played it. I don't know. I'd love to see that though. I think that.
Where did they come about at the same time?
I think.
You know, like, I wonder if that was just like a popular thing with dolls.
I think Robert the Doll was before Annabelle.
Okay. Him, I feel like, has had more surrounding him than
Robert the Doll?
Annabelle.
Really?
Because like Annabelle, I feel like just seems it because of. But I feel like from like what I've like of stories I've read, I feel like I see more like violent recounts of people coming in contact with that doll and then getting their tire slashed than Annabelle.
That's true.
Annabelle's doing my sis is doing good work, burning down plantations.
I mean, I don't see Robert the Doll burning down plantations though. You know, I don't see Robert the Doll escaping from their little prison that they're in.
I'm not gonna say that. I don't want him to think that I doubt his abilities.
I do.
In case for whatever reason he does listen to Booze and Bays, I'm not gonna be the one to
Could you imagine? He's like our one listener.
Honestly,
it's not even Brandon. It's just
shout out Robbie. Well, I guess we'll leave it with that. Let us know, Robbie, if you're listening in the comments. Thank you so much for our first episode back. It was so fun, and we talk to you soon. And make sure that you subscribe and listen on Spotify, Apple Music.
Literally everywhere.
Literally anywhere that you could possibly listen to us yap.
We'll probably be there.
And follow us. But we will see you guys next time. Bye.